I guess even though we were free, we were still slaves in the mind.
Message!
Yo, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Know Yourself Academy. It's your guy, Boro, the Lucky Libra here. And as you can see by the title, we're going to be getting into true compatibility in astrology, all right? Now, listen. There's a lot of things in astrology, whether you're talking about career, whether you're talking about goals, whether you're talking about your relationship life, whether you're talking about activating a spiritual path, there's multiple ways to do these things. So that's one thing I need you guys to understand. There's multiple ways to do these things. There's multiple ways to manifest, all right? We manifest in all different types of shapes and forms in different ways in our life subconsciously. But when you tap into your energies in your natal chart, there's a lot of different ways to see how you can manifest something looking at your houses and your angles and your aspects, all right? So with that being said, when we talk about true compatibility, there's a lot of different things we could get into when we talk about compatibility in astrology, all right? Because there's so much different components to the natal chart in astrology. We could tap into why you connect, why you are attracted by certain energies, why you are enticed and more influenced by certain energies, why you gravitate and manifest certain energies. We can get into that when we talk about synastry and planetary aspects, and we are gonna get into them things. But when we talk about true compatibility in its essence, right now we're gonna talk about a fundamental breakdown to see true compatibility with not just people you're dating, but friends, family members, anybody, associates, teachers, parents, anything. Like, this is gonna apply to all forms of compatibility, and it's only gonna need your sun sign. All right, it's only gonna need your sun sign. So you don't have to know house placements for this or any aspects. It's just your sun sign. Now, when we talk about, let me make sure I got my water. When we talk about true compatibility in astrology, now, if you listen to my previous videos, I try to make sure I emphasize the fact that I try to emphasize the fact that in astrology and spirituality, period, there's a positive and negative charge to everything. There's a pro and con, light and dark side to everything. That's a universal law of polarity, and that's just energy, period. There's always something on the opposite end. Something is always on the spectrum of something. So, when we talk about the planets, all right, you guys have heard me talk in my previous videos, talk about how the planets both have a feminine and masculine side, all right? When we talk about masculine energy, this is the external. This is the thought form. This is pushing out. This is expression. This is action, all right? Dealing with the external force though, all right? Now, when we talk about feminine energy, this is the receiving, the internal, the honing in. All right, this is a feminine realm that we live in. As soon as we incarnate, as soon as we are born, what's the first thing you do? You receive. So that lets you know in this realm, this specific realm we're in, the receiving energy is the most important than pushing out. But that's another topic. So that's key to remember. Masculine energy is dealing with pushing out, the external. Feminine energy dealing with honing in, the internal. All right, now we all have these energies. We all have a balance of masculine and feminine energy. If you're a female, you're leaning more on the feminine side. If you're a male, you're leaning more on the masculine side. Males, masculine energy dealing more so with the left brain, all right, the logic, the intellect. The feminine energy, females are dealing more so with the right brain, all right, the intuition, the subconscious, all right, which you're subconsciously aware of. Left brain, which you're more consciously aware of. So every planet, just like the body you're in, just like how I explained the body you're in, the spirit you are is no different from the spirit in a planet, just that they're in a bigger body because they expanded spiritually. They went through the levels that you're currently going through already. That spirit that's in Mercury or the sun and the moon, they already went through certain spiritual experiments, aka lifetimes experiences, to gather lessons, to gather spiritual expansion, to have to incarnate in a bigger body, in a higher dimension. All right. So, and in total there's 9 dimensions, all right? And as a spirit, you experience these things in cycles. So when we talk about the planets having feminine and masculine sides, every zodiac sign that's ruled by a planet has every planet that rules a zodiac sign rules a feminine and a masculine side of a zodiac sign, all right? And this is where the true compatibility kicks in, because this planet is like the same building, the same job, the same department. I mean, the same job, the same neighborhood. But when we talk about the 2 signs that this planet rules for the masculine side and the feminine side, these are 2 signs that are like in the same area but from different parts, and when they come together they naturally relate because they're in the same space, but they're enlightening each other of the different charges, the different aspects, the different sides of the same area that they're already in, the masculine and the feminine side. So we're going to go through every planet, all right? We're going to go through each planet. Now, first we're going to do Mercury. All right, Mercury. So Mercury governs how you think and you communicate. All right, the masculine side of, to go more in depth, you know, your moon sign represents how you think and react, but Mercury takes what your moon sign receives and critically analyzes it, sees the details in it, breaks it down, observes the substance of what your moon just caught. So this is more so of the critical thinking aspect that Mercury deals with, all right? It rules the mental body. So when you have the masculine side of Mercury is Gemini, the feminine side of Mercury is Virgo. So this is true compatibility when a Virgo meets a Gemini. Now, mind you, watching this video, you may, like, let's say you was a Virgo and you dated a Gemini before and it was terrible. This is true compatibility in the essence as far as energy and your sun sign and your ruling planet, how you guys see things, all right? You're just giving different sides to how you see things. There's a whole bunch of different angles in relationships, period. We could talk about relationships in astrology, period. But if you already have personal karma that you're dealing with, if you already have soul ties and whatnot that you're dealing with from the previous lifetime, if you already have toxic relationships that you ended and you haven't healed and did the right internal work from to open yourself up for new, healthier experiences with other people on your frequency vibration, then it don't even matter what aspects or what signs you date or whatever. You have to have yourself right first to relate to others, all right? Self-love and being right within and healthy within helps you to have the most healthiest relationship possible. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, all right? But we're still just relating about the energies of the planets and the masculine and feminine side. So when we talk about Mercury, Gemini is the masculine side, Virgo is the feminine side. So Mercury governs how we think and communicate. So we know the masculine side pushes out. So Gemini is more so consciously pushing out how they think and communicate. They're starting conversations, all right? They're asking people questions about how they do things and whatnot, okay? They're creating information from just starting the dialogue and picking people's minds and seeing what they have in common with people, what they don't have in common, and deciphering that and creating information. Conversation, being relatable, connecting, analyzing your surroundings and resources. This develops information. That's why this is the mental body Mercury is dealing with, but that's the Gemini side of Mercury. Virgo is the feminine side, so it likes to receive, right? Because we know feminine energy deals with receive. So this side of Mercury likes to receive by watching how other people do what they do, watching how other people's practically, because it's Earth, watching how people practically work on things, watching how people schedule and organize and do things on a routine, on a day-to-day routine, okay? Picking up the details and criticizing people through their actions, and then using that to, with what you already been through from your experiences and how you worked on things, to go ahead and start whatever new plan, project, or go about however you're gonna go about what you're doing at the moment, all right? So that's the same energy, the same Mercury influence, but one pushes us out, one is more consciously honing in on it. All right, now when they meet, all right, it's true compatibility, because Gemini shows Virgo how to go ahead and push that how to push out that energy to the external, how to communicate and be mutable with all the details, things that you picked up, and how you work on things and how you gain information from that. Gemini show Virgos how to do that, and a Virgo shows a Gemini how to hone in on the information that they collected, and not just to go ahead and act and be more sporadic with the information and questions and conversations, to gather information, all right, sit on it, observe it, hone in on it, receive it, fill it out, feminine energy, then go ahead and go about your business. All right, so that's the true compatibility right there. Now Venus, okay, the masculine side of Venus, first of all, Venus is dealing with how we relate, how we love, how we compromise, how we value the input of others, all right, where we seek pleasure at, and how we support and get supported. So the masculine side of Venus is Libra. The feminine side of Venus is Taurus. Okay, so Libras like to, and Libras is air, so they like to communicate harmonious things. They like to communicate things that lead to balance. They like to communicate light, uplifting things, positive things. All right, they can be superficial to a little extent, not so much as Taurus, because Taurus is actually Earth, so it likes resources or whatnot. But are into more so artsy, creative things or whatnot. Okay, so they push this energy out. Taurus hones in on this energy. So being the feminine side of Venus, it likes to experience and receive the Venus energy. So this is why Taurus is like eating, y'all kind of, I was about to say spoiled, y'all picky. Y'all picky with y'all food. Y'all like eating nice fine food. Y'all like, nice clothing. Y'all like, it's the Venetian energy, but y'all like receiving it. Y'all like wearing nice things, nice brands, okay, nice experiences, nice trips, 5-star things. The Tauruses want to hone in and receive that shit. So when you got a Libra meet a Taurus, a Libra knows how to push out that Venus energy out to the Taurus and show Taurus how to be more relatable with that energy. Also, because Taurus is fixed Earth, so Tauruses like to be fixed and secured in their mindset of how they're being practical and logical about creating stability in their life. So they don't really like being transformative. So when you have a Libra gonna show you how to be more relatable with your Venetian energy. Like, we know you're into these things, but you could be more relatable with in a one-on-one relationship with somebody else experiencing these things, or like you could let others know that you really into these things, so we could collectively get into something. Boom, boom, boom. It's gonna show Taurus how to push out the more external force of this. A Taurus is gonna show a Libra, how to sit back and experience some of this energy for themselves. Stop trying to give off that Venetian energy to everybody else, and you experience this. You take some action and get stable in whatever you're doing, and stop being so relatable to everybody else, and get situated in this Venetian energy. All right, you experience these nice foods for your change. You put some attention and energy towards yourself to do these things. All right, so like that's the give and receive right there for the masculine and feminine side of Venus. All right, Mars. Okay, Mars. So first of all, Mars governs our passions, our goals, desires, how we go about our actions. Not the action, but how we carry out the action, because Mars is the first son of the sun. All right, so it handles the sun's duties and obligations. So if the sun says Mars, if mom tells the moon tells the sun, all right, not Mars, but the actual sun, the father, the garbage needs to be taken out. Who you think the sun is saying to take? Who you think he calling to take the garbage out? Mars, get your ass up Saturday morning and take the garbage out. All right. Mercury in the background laughing like ah ha ha, and Mars is like, I should make you take this shit out. You feel me? And Venus is just in the room sleeping, getting her whole beauty sleep, not really caring, learning, and appreciating and valuing her own beauty and her phases that she's going through. little planetary family skit. All right, so Mars governs your intentions, all right, your passions, okay, but also anger and frustration when your goals and passions aren't met, okay. So the masculine side of Mars is Aries, okay. It's the masculine side of Mars. So Aries wants to push out its passions. It wants to go ahead and express and act on its passions, visions, and what it sees, and its fire, okay. Scorpio is the feminine side of Mars, okay. So Scorpios, it's fixed water, so it wants to hone in on its passions and desires. It wants to stay fixated and hone in on these passions and desires until it feels like it's the right time to go ahead and execute. You feel me? So don't feel vulnerable. Both Aries and Scorpio, the masculine and feminine side of Mars, they both don't like feeling vulnerable, all right. Mars is going to go ahead and do its own thing and want people to know it does its own thing, so you don't fuck with it, because that's what makes it vulnerable when you try to make it feel like it need help or something. Scorpios, you make them feel vulnerable when like you're trying to rush them to do something that they're not emotionally fixed on doing yet or whatnot. Because when you hone in on something, you guys have to understand, when you're dealing with the receiving energy, when you hone in on something, it's like we all have our own frequency vibrations and vibes and waters within our spirit and soul. So it's like when you hone in on the energy, whether it's a thought, whether it's a whatever, a feeling, you know, it's like you're building that up. You're not releasing it. So a Scorpio could have a passion, that something that they fired up about for the longest, for years. All right. So that's more so a Scorpio can have strong desires because they done honed in on these joints for mad long. It's fixed water, so they got their own fixed way of dealing with the emotions and feelings. So it's a true compatibility, because when they meet, Aries shows Scorpio how to push out all them passions and desires that they've been honing on for however, God knows, however long, because y'all can hold on to a goal for the longest, y'all can hold on to a grudge for the longest, y'all can hold on to a desire or a dream for the longest. So you just got to make sure you're honing in on the things that you want to grow as a Scorpio. All my water signs, because y'all manifest real quick here, all right, when you're dealing with the emotions and feelings. So when you have Aries, shows Scorpio how to push that energy out, you know, shows you how to express that, all right, shows you that, yo, you ain't got to hone in on the desire. Sometimes you just got to go on, sometimes you just got to go act on it, you know. Sometimes not all of our passions, goals, and desires have to take so long for us to manifest. Sometimes you just got to get up and go and get that shit. That's what Aries is going to show Scorpio. Scorpio, feminine side, is going to show Aries, listen, I understand I'm as passionate as you are, but sometimes you actually got to take your time and get fixated on the vibe of something and soak into that a little bit and then execute, you feel me? So it's come out the way you wanted to come out, and you feel me, you're not vulnerable and you giving your best work, all right? So that's what the energy Scorpio is going to give energy. True compatibility, all right? Jupiter. So what is Jupiter? Okay, Jupiter is, this is like, I made a tweet on my Instagram. I was talking about the planetary family. I said Jupiter's the drunk wise uncle. All right, this is the uncle that you go speak to, that has the wisdom about almost every situation you encounter growing up, going through puberty and getting bullied or trying to do this and that, things you can't really speak to your parents about all the time. You got your drunk wise Uncle Jupiter there with all the wisdom for you, for all the experiences you go through. All right, you go to Jupiter and like, yo, you having sex, young buck? Here, have these condoms, man. Protect yourself. Don't tell the moon, aka don't tell your mom that I gave you those neither. All right, man. Like that's Jupiter. Unc gonna give you that wisdom. Unc gonna look out. Unc gonna school you. All right. So Jupiter dealing with the teaching, learning energy. I mean the teaching student, knowledge, wisdom energy. All right. Higher learning, spirituality, broad perspectives, gaining spiritual expansion from looking at broad perspectives and the bigger picture of things. Most people that you look at that are really spiritual, the little things in life don't move them. If you're really spiritual, You understand this is an experience, an experiment. You can't get you're not gonna allow yourself to get moved by everything when you understand you're trying to settle in a certain frequency vibration in your life. All right, so it's like, you know, in order to get some spiritual expansion in your life, you got to start looking at your experiences from a bigger picture, from a broader perspective. All right, you got to step out your body, step out your shoes sometimes, and look at what's going on. Okay, so, you know, just a little Jupiter lesson, but that's the energy Jupiter governs. All right, masculine version of Jupiter, Sagittarius. Feminine version of Jupiter, Pisces. Okay, so when you have Sagittarius is mutable fire ruled by Jupiter, so it's mutable and adaptable to how others feel. But since it's ruled by Jupiter, it's dealing with you know, philosophy, spirituality, religion, travel, within or externally or whatnot. So Sagittariuses, they want to, this is why they come off preachy, because they want to spread that fire. They want to spread that wisdom. That's the difference between the Sagittarius fire and the Leo and the Aries fire. The Aries fire is like the lighter, the electricity spark you see when the right before the flame comes out. That little electricity spark, that's Aries. All right, take initiative, jump, go, cardinal, leader, pioneer. Leo is the fixed fire. This is why it's entertaining. It's dancing. That's why you could just look at a fire ablaze and be like, wow, look at that fire. It's so cool. It's like red and blue and it's dancing and stuff. Like it's entertaining. It's the fixed fire, the fire we can see. Sagittarius is the campfire that is like the heat that's spread from the campfire that we could all feel, keep us all warm, enlightening to all of us. All right. So Sagittarius wants to spread that Jupiter energy. They wanna communicate about their experiences and their wisdom and whatnot and what they've been through. And if a Sagittarius likes you, they're gonna tell you about their day and what they was going through in their day. They love to tell people about their day. Oh my God, Sagittarius is love. This is why Sagittarius and Libras be like this. Sagittarius love to tell you about their day, about their adventure. They want to go on their adventures. All right, adventures bring what? Experiences. I mean, adventures are experiences that bring what? Experiences bring wisdom. You go on a trip. You guys ever go on a trip and then you come back and you got a new inspiration about life, or you charged up and you're looking at things from a different outlook? That's Jupiter energy. All right, learning from your experiences. So that's Sagittarius. Pisces, the feminine side of Jupiter. So it wants to hone in on the things that it's learning, its wisdom and whatnot. It wants to hone in on its experiences. It want to learn what other people are going through. Now they're both mutable, so Sagittarius want to be adaptable and changeable towards how other people see things too. But Pisces is mutable water too, so it wants to feel where others is coming from. All right, see what other people experiences going through, compare it to its experiences, and see how the emotional stability alters from both. Like Pisces, you already manifest a bunch of friends or whatnot, people that tell you about, you know, the turmoil or the negative things going on in life, or the toxic relationships, and like people vent to y'all. So as a Pisces, y'all take that, and y'all could be going through a whole bunch of BS in y'all life, but y'all compare it. Y'all take other people's stories and compare it and fill it out and see what it's hitting for, and it'll help you to measure where you're at, how serious your situation is. It is blah blah blah. But Pisces want to receive that energy. They really, Pisces can, this is why Pisces are great listeners. Pisces, beautiful listeners. This is why they manifest so much people dumping all this emotional weight on the girlfriends, crying on the phone to y'all about their man and whatnot, because y'all great listeners. The feminine energy of Jupiter. So you're dealing with experiences, Jupiter, broad perspectives, bigger pictures, and you want to receive that. So you'll sit there and listen and see where somebody's coming from, see the emotional vibration frequency that they're in. You feel me? Feel their situation out. It helps you, bring you more wisdom about your life. All right, so all signs operate different. Every sign is different, no matter if you got the same ruler, if you're all the same element, the same modality. Every sign is different. So when Sagittarius and Pisces meet, all right, true compatibility. Sagittarius shows Pisces like, yo, listen, like maybe I'll be more expressive of that energy. gotta be a little bit more adventurous, because you know, when you're adventurous, it creates actual experiences that you can learn from too. Sometimes they might be negative, but listen, we learn from negative things too, right? Those things bring us wisdom for us to carry out in our life for future preference, right? So yeah, that's the energy you got to get into, Pisces. You got to get up and live some more. You got to travel, man. You got to get out there. Pisces comes and helps Jupiter, like, yo, listen, man, you going through so many experiences at once. You need to just settle down a little bit so you can actually soak in onto what all them experiences is supposed to be teaching you. You feel me? Like, look at all the adventures you just dived into the last couple of months. You know they had a lot of meanings or reasonings, but you can't catch on to them because you're moving too fast. You're all over the place. Pisces help Sagittarius to soak in onto the meanings and reasonings of their experiences, because Sagittarius is always looking to create new ones, all right? They like new experiences. They like trips and adventures and traveling and whatnot, all right? It's a hard fire to contain with Sagittarius. So if you're dating a Sagittarius, it has to be a sense of freedom, or you have to be as outgoing and upbeat as they are, because they don't like nobody bringing their energy down. So Pisces gonna show Sagittarius is like, yeah, man, like, you know, you're going through a lot of experiences, but there's a lot to be, you're not reflecting enough, man. And Pisces is water. Water signs deal with the past. Like, you're not reflecting enough on these experiences. You're dealing with too much creating new ones because you're all up in that fire. But you know, even though we still dealing with the Jupiter energy, like sometimes you gotta experience some in my water side of Jupiter. You feel me? Some of this feminine side of Jupiter. All right, like, let's soak in and reflect and really learn to help us create way better experiences. All right, so true compatibility. All right, then you got, so he said Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. We got Saturn, y'all. Alright. It's my chart ruler. Saturn don't play on my chart, y'all. My Saturn placements, everything relating to Saturn in my chart is heavy. Like, I'm a Cap moon, Cap rising. Alright. I'm a Libra. Saturn is exalted in Libra, so don't forget that. Alright, so Saturn loves to be in Libra. Alright, got a stellium in my 10th house. Alright, so this Saturn in my first house. Saturn don't like to be in the first house. So like, shit is crazy with me and Saturn in this lifetime. Alright, I don't know what I did in my last lifetime, but basically, when we talk about Saturn, alright, now, the masculine side of Saturn is Aquarius. The feminine side of Saturn is Capricorn. So when we talk about, first of all, what is Saturn? Saturn represents limits, restrictions, boundaries placed on yourself, or that you place on yourself to get from point A to B and do things the right way with structure and discipline in an organized manner, in a practical manner. It's not dealing with feelings, emotions, cold. It doesn't reflect light. So it's about being practical in business and what makes sense. It's also the father of time. The father of time. So you gotta have patience with Saturn. But Saturn ain't rushing shit. Give a fuck if Saturn late to work. Give a fuck if Saturn's baby mama delivering. I'ma take my goddamn time. Shit, I'ma be realistic. Realistic. People with heavy Saturn placements, that's how they talk. They're like, yeah, we gotta be realistic about this, y'all. Like, you feel me? So the masculine side of Saturn is Aquarius. Aquarius is fixed air. So Aquarius want to push out and communicate and connect with the unknown and the unfamiliar and associates and network about how we could build some type of business relation, how we could build structure in this relation, how we could build for the community, how we could come for the greater good in a group effort. All right. This Aquarius is how they push out their Saturn energy. Communicating things that make sense, communicating things that are practical, communicating with purpose. All right, they communicate with purpose more than all of their air signs. Gemini, Libra talk to you about anything. Aquarius is not gonna sit there and talk to you about anything. Okay, you could talk to Aquarius and notice that either if you're not talking about something that stimulates them mentally, that's not unique, that doesn't show an individual side of you. If you're just talking about other people and what other people are doing and what's going on, what everything else going on, they'll talk to you about what's going on in the world. They'll talk to you about that, because like I said, they're like humanitarians and they there for the greater good of the world and whatnot. Well, not so, I ain't gonna say the greater good for the world. It could be a toxic Aquarius, but they there for the community in some type of shape or form. But if you ain't talking about none of that, they gonna change the subject to what they want to talk about. They're not gonna really be responding to you like that. If y'all got Aquarius partners or parents, siblings, best friends, y'all know what it is. I track Aquarius in my life more than anybody. I mean, more than any sign. So this is how Aquarius push up masculine Saturn energy. Capricorns want to receive the Saturn energy. So they want to receive ways to learn about stability. They want to receive ways to see how people are organizing, being practical, and gaining structure in their life, and then they go about it. So our Capricorn will take your motherfucking business, all right? Mars is exalted in Capricorn, so Mars takes. So being exalted in Capricorn, watch Caps, they could be thieves. So, you know, Cap will take your business plan, copyright it. You should have licensed it first, all right? Shit. Giving out all them brilliant business plans and think I wasn't gonna take that. What? You were talking about it for months. For months you ain't taking no action on it. What you expect me to do? The plan was great. It's Capricorn, all right? So it wants to receive the ways of learning stability or whatnot, all right? And when you have Aquarius meeting a Capricorn, you know, Aquarius is gonna show Capricorn like, yo, listen, you can't just be in your little reserved box trying to watch how everybody else doing things. But I ain't gonna say watch how everybody else doing things, because Capricorn is cardinal Earth, so they gonna go on and initiate. You feel me? But they're smart leaders because they are one of the cardinal signs that will learn to, like, Aries and Capricorn and Libras out of the cardinal signs will watch others before they go ahead and take initiative, and that's also based off of planetary things too. You know, Capricorn's feminine, so it's gonna hone in. Libra is, the sun falls in Libra, so when it comes to action, the action is really done internally, and they relate. So they're like relating to different people, places, and things, and how people are doing things before they take action. Aries and Cancers, they're just gonna initiate. You feel me? They're just gonna create. Go ahead and create the vibe. Go ahead and follow the vision, follow the feeling. You feel me? So when Aquarius meets Capricorn, Aquarius could show Capricorn like, yo, listen, man, you honing in on them blueprints a little too long. Go ahead, just do it. You don't even know if you communicate what you really trying to do to the people in your surroundings and some of them associates that you met the other day. If they have resources to even help you out, you never know who they know. You feel me? Aquarius is about networking. Like, you don't know who they know. You just reserved, working on your little blueprint, not trying to tell nobody, thinking you got the acting like you got the most diabolical plan in the world, and you not like push that out. Capricorn tell Aquarius like, yo, like you pushing that energy out too much, and you need to take a little bit more action. You need to take some more action on the things that you're communicating. All right, yeah, I'm honing in on some of this Saturn energy. Yeah, I'm trying to receive and learn ways of stability first before I push it out. And all right, it seems like you know it. You need to push it out. So you need to actually take action, because the fall is actually detriment in Aquarius. So it's like, but even though we're talking about the planet Saturn, you know, Capricorns, when it comes to stability in their life, like, they're gonna go ahead and take initiative and whatever, but just is a lot of internal work going on. Like, they will spend time on a blueprint. They will spend time on putting a game plan together. All right, they will spend time and time is a theme with Saturn. Once again, time. All right, well, Aquarius is air, so it's the communication aspect is there. So like, they're pushing out Saturn in more of an external of how they're being relatable with the external. Capricorns is gonna more so work on that plan, hone in on that some more, and then take initiative. Aquarius will use the community and be relatable to build things and organize things. All right, so that's more so how the compatibility meets and what they put each other onto. All right, now so when Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Now when we talk about Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, they're all like, they don't have masculine or feminine sides. All right, when we get and once again, those are more generational planets. All right, so they're not as close, like, they're working on transiting out of this solar system right now. Like, Pluto used to be like the sun here. Like, these planets been here for the longest. So, and then I had sex with other planets and had children and all that. Like, They're like all grandparents and distant cousins. So they're transiting out of the solar system. So their influence, like it still impacts us, but it's just that it's from a farther distance. So it's more of a generational influence. When we talk about the last one, the sun and the moon. Now the sun doesn't have a mask of feminine and masculine, it just has a masculine. The moon doesn't have a feminine and masculine, it just has just a feminine. So when we talk about Leos and Cancers, the sun rules Leo, the moon rules Cancer. This is true compatibility. All right. Now, the reason why the sun doesn't have a feminine side and why the moon doesn't have a masculine side, because this is the overall masculine energy here, the sun. The moon is the overall feminine energy here. All right. Everybody else children. So when it comes to those two, it's just like father and mother. It's just like husband and wife. All right. Whenever you have, when we get into this industry, one aspect that's like true love, soulmate love, is sun conjunction moon. More so with the male's sun conjuncting the female's moon. This is more so like a aspect that I would see in the natal chart when I'd be like, yo, yeah, this is like true companionship. This is like, you know, true soulmate type of connection. And when the sun meets the moon, all right, the sun, we already know what the sun is. The sun is your actions, your expressions, your natural actions, all right, your vitality, your ego, your appearance, all right. And the moon is, you know, how you react and respond, your internal, all right, your emotional state, your emotional stability, all right, and how you gain, how you become comfortable with your emotional stability. So when you have this Leo meeting Cancer, all right, when you have Leo meeting Cancer, Leo is more so about pushing out their light, pushing out, you know, how they look, pushing out what how they entertain, how they give their light off, their expression, their creative expression. All right. Cancer, all right, is cardinal water, so it's more so dealing with creating the vibration. All right, creating the vibe it wants people to react to. All right. Cancers is ruled by the moon. The moon deals with reacting. But Cancers actually want to create the vibe and make others react to that. It don't want to be the one reacting to the vibes, because a Cancer's feeling like they're the one reacting to the vibe makes them feel vulnerable, because they need to have control. It's a psychological thing where they need to have control over the emotional influence in the environment. So if a Cancer's not emotionally comfortable somewhere, it's gonna do something to modify the vibe, or it's just gonna dash. It's not with the shits. So when they meet, you know, it's just like the moon, the feminine energy creates the vibe for the sun to react and respond to, for how it looks, just like and then the sun go ahead and just pushes out the expression, pushes out the light of the moon, is responding to the influence of the moon, of the nurture of the moon, of the internal of the moon, all right, and just pushing it out. So it's just like when we talk about our sun and our moon sign. Your moon sign is who you are, your emotional vibration, all right? The nurture, the nurturing aspect inside you, your soft spot. When we talk about your sun sign is just, the moon sign motivates the sun sign. So the sun sign is just how the moon looks. So you can have two people that are Sagittarius moons. One is a Virgo sun though, and one is a Gemini sun. They're both Virgo moons, so they both feel and react and respond to life in certain ways and think and feel about certain things the same ways. But when it comes to how they push out that energy, one's gonna push it out in the Sagittarius way, it's gonna look like a Sagittarius. One's gonna push it out one's gonna push it out in the Gemini way, and one's gonna push it out in a Virgo way, if that's the two signs that I said. You know, so that's how it comes out. All right. So that's why Leo Cancer, it'll be like true companionship on that way. And you know, like I said, Cancer the moon's dealing with nurturing energy. So Leo is about showing its light. So the Cancer will nurture that. A Cancer will, you know, create the vibe that it knows that the Leo is enticed by, and the Leo will go ahead and entertain, show his light off, and go ahead and you know, shine the light on the home, shine the light on the moon too, because Leos like to put the light on the people that they're dealing with too, and put the light and give the recognition to the moon, to the nurturer, just like how the mother and father relationship in the household is, you know. So it's just like like, you know, if you're watching like a show like Everybody Hates Chris, or just whatever sitcom, whatever has a household, it shows a family. And you know, like if the mom says something like, you know, say the chicken for your dad, you know, your dad like chicken. It's like the moon know the Leo, Cancer know the Leo fire, the lion wants to be the lion and show its light, so the moon knows how to set that vibration for it. Leo is gonna go ahead and take care of the family, give recognition to the moon. So that's like the father going out, going to work, handling bills, coming home. Yo, y'all clean up around here. You know your mother, blah blah blah. Like, you feel me? Make sure you respect the moon. Make sure you react and respond to the energy of the moon. You feel me? And that is the energy of the moon. That's why it's important to trail the moon and know what sign it is in every day. You know, it moves the quickest planet, the quickest star, so it moves every 2.5 days, and this is the energy that shows what influence we should be reacting and responding to for the day. So it's important to know the moon's transits. But that's true compatibility. Now, every example I just gave about when they come together, this ties into partners, siblings, parents. Right now, if you're a Gemini and your mom or your dad is a Virgo, go back and watch the Gemini and Virgo and apply that to your relation with your mom and your dad and see how that applies. See how you guys are influenced by the same planet, but you may push out one side more and the other one hones in on the other side, but you see I still have that relatable energy. All right, so this goes into anybody you meet, and this is just based off their sun sign, because I know a lot of the time we meet people in our lives and we want to get natal charts and whatnot, but it'd be a little awkward trying to find out how to get that birth time. You feel me? So this is something you could deal with just off the sun sign. So this is just one video of many videos I want to get into before I get into the Planet Through the Houses series. Alright, y'all already know what it is. It's your guy Boro, the Lucky Libra. And make sure y'all go follow me on IG and all that good stuff, you feel me? But for now, I'm tuning in and tuning out. Peace.